Hey, Nick.
Hey, friend!
What do you call a magician that loses his magic?
What do you call a magician that loses his magic?
Ian?
Uh,
We don't have it yet. What is up, everybody? We are back again with another We Don't Have It Yet. I am your wonderful host, Wyatt. With me is your other wonderful host, Nick. Say hi to everyone, Nick.
what up? I didn't get your joke. What, the magician's name is Ian, who lost his magic?
A magician. If you take magic out of magician, what are you left
Yeah,
with?
yeah, I'm a moron. Yeah,
That's all right.
yeah,
It's too early for you. It's fine.
yeah.
So, anyway, we've got a pretty fun, I think, schedule for us here today. We're going to be talking about the Golden State Pinball Festival that we're going to be heading to here in just a few days. Actually, probably we'll be there, well, I'll be there a day after this episode drops. Nintendo kind of surprise announced a new game for Switch 2 that's coming out in a little over a month. And Ryan Cohen, everyone's favorite CEO of everyone's favorite company, GameStop, is now permanently banned from eBay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, so Nick, I
You.
heard that you got into a TV show that you didn't really know about before, and it looks like you just found out they had a movie.
Oh yeah. Oh my kids show adventures. Yeah,
Yeah.
so my son has introduced me to like a bunch of different shows. Occasionally I found something that I've like grabbed and put on my server because I thought he might be interested. But for the most part he comes and just says we should check this out. And found some great shows through that. Amphibia, Big City Greens, Gravity Falls. These are all shows that I've enjoyed alongside him. So it's actually kind of nice that he's of an age now where it's like we can find stuff that we both enjoy versus
Not Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. Yeah, Bluey. God, because Bluey just like basically does stuff to her dad all the time, so it
Yeah.
translates directly into let's do that to my dad after every episode that we watch. So yeah, glad to be through that stuff. But he got me on We Bare Bears, and
Oh yeah.
have you ever watched this show? You
Oh,
knew
I
about
love
it.
We Bare Bears.
What a great show! It's
Yeah.
brilliant. And again, coming back to like some of our favorite cast members, I think Bobby Moynihan's in this. Who else is in this? Nope, not in there. Patton Oswalt is in this.
Yep. Malcolm
Yeah, lots
McDowell.
of fun. Yes. Um, but so they made a movie. We've been watching the show for like the past 2 weeks, and it's about probably halfway through the second season. But last night we watched the movie. And have you seen the movie?
I have not seen the movie yet. No.
Okay, quite the good movie. Not light on messaging or kind of lessons to be learned that maybe a lot of adults need to hear at this time. But basically, the slim and skinny of it is that the bears are kind of bothering their local community with their bareness, and thus are decided that they shouldn't be allowed to live in human society any longer. And they are made to deal with a very overzealous government agent who wants to kick them out of the country, and they are making a run for it to Canada, where Canada loves bears, so they're going to Canada. Of course, no parallels to be drawn through any type of modern society whatsoever. It just happens to be about bears getting kicked out of the United States. Uh,
Which actually, this movie released in 2020 as
I
well.
was gonna
So
say, well, what foresight these guys had to think something like that could be a discussion. Um, Come on, but it's a great movie. Lots of fun and heart throughout. Ice Bear is my spirit animal, as
I
I'm
was
sure
just
many
gonna
people
ask you
feel.
if you were a Grizz Bear, Panda Bear, or Ice Bear guy.
Oh,
So
I'm
thank
Ice
you for
Bear for
answering
days.
that.
Come on, that's easy. He's quiet, just enters with wisdom and loves to cook, right? So how could that not be me? I never talk
Yeah.
too much or anything. No. I love everybody in the show, especially the oh god, what's his name? The Yeti guy.
Oh, I've seen probably about 10 episodes, so I
Yeah,
can't help you too much there.
it's not like I've been having the link for the
Oh,
IMDb page right
Charlie?
in front of me the entire time. Charlie, thank
Yeah,
you.
who was played by Jason Lee.
Yes. So Grizz is Eric Edelstein, which I don't know him from major. I recognize him from like Parks and Rec and lots of bit parts and things, but I don't know him outside of this as that character. But everybody else I know pretty well. Like Panda is Bobby Moynihan, Ice Bear is Dimitri Martin, Patton Oswalt is Nom Nom. Like you said, Jason Lee is in this as Charlie, the if he's a Yeti or a Bigfoot type
He's
character.
Bigfoot.
Ellie Kemper is in this. There's, I mean, just tons of great people. But oh yeah, Jimmy O Yang played a raccoon, which I enjoyed thoroughly. Same jokes really as the show, just kind of like, that slightly upped animation budget kind of thing, where everything looks just a little snazzier. But if you
Your
enjoy the
Bob's
show,
Burgers movie.
yeah, exactly. If you enjoy the show, plenty to love here. My kid loved it, but I enjoyed it as well. And yeah, just again, what a fantastic show. People don't be turned off by something being for kids, I guess. Or I guess back in the day, it was like animation, man, that's lame. Uh, which
Yeah,
is
no,
certainly not the case these days.
as
But
I say, it's gone all the way around. Like there's a lot more, and maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like there's a lot more of all ages animation.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I like that this is hits that appeal to everyone. If you're an adult willing to give it a chance, there's plenty of smart humor here, kind of thing, versus just being adult oriented or kid oriented animation kind of thing. You can only have Dexter's Laboratory or Rick and Morty, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
No, this really bridges that gap, along with yeah, like shows like Big City Greens that I really like that have strong messaging about how to not be a piece of garbage in this world, which maybe a lot of us need to hear.
Or
So
practice.
yeah, go check out We Bare Bears even if you don't have kids, because it's an awesome show and movie.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, like I said, I've watched maybe 10 episodes of it, but I'm gonna have to watch a bit more. I
Well,
know
so
my
there's
cousin
also
Sean was
a
really
We
into it.
Baby Bears
Oh
show,
yeah, huh?
because
I didn't
there's
even know about
episodes of
that.
the normal show where it shows them as youngsters, which are especially cute and popular, I'm sure. So they do a spin-off where it's just all baby episodes. We haven't gotten into that yet either. So pretty excited about that. But it's not like Muppet Babies where it's just intended for the Nick Jr. crowd. But
I
I
don't
love
know.
Muppet
Have
Babies
you
too.
watched? I was gonna say, have you watched Muppet Babies at all lately? It still holds up.
I have not watched the original Muppet Babies, but there was a CGI
Yes, there was.
remake of
Yeah,
Muppet Babies that I got to enjoy when my son was like 2. And yeah, that's not particularly for me.
yeah. No, the original. I think I have it on up on my Plex server, but the original is wild. Just seeing all of the IP that they used during the original Muppet Babies run, I'm like, wow, no wonder you can't really find this in box sets or anything now, because they cannot get the licensing rights to anything that they've used on this.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking one of the episodes I had was like pretty much almost a direct ripoff of Indiana Jones. And like
Oh, okay.
and just there's a lot of like very ham-fisted, like this is absolutely us talking about. I mean, I guess I wonder
That's
if
fair
Steve's,
use, isn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
it it may be, but they also used footage of some of the properties that they were using.
Yeah. Well, Spielberg and Henson were homies and all
I
that
was gonna
stuff.
say
So I'm
that's
sure there was a lot
probably
of
why
good
it all.
faith at the time, kind of thing. God knows who owns what now.
Probably Disney, because they
Yeah.
own everything, I guess. Cause yeah, Muppet Babies. Yeah, and that was an '84. Muppet Babies had 3 seasons. No, they had 8 seasons. I didn't realize it were
8
107
seasons of Muppet
episodes.
Babies. All right. Great MC
107
Chris song.
episodes. Yeah. Yep. Speaking of MC Chris, a little bit later we'll be talking about him very briefly.
Really
Yeah, he
interesting.
may or may not be involved in GWAR.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. And do you want to talk about the other movie that I watched yesterday? Because I
Yeah,
watched two
we're
movies yesterday, but you
yeah,
also saw a movie yesterday, so I don't know if you wanted to go into that as well.
yeah, no, we're on the Nick movie train right now. We need to
Mm-hmm.
get you your own music for Nick's movies. But yeah.
Seriously.
So what was your mom and dad movie you guys watched yesterday?
So after bedtime, yeah, we watched Remarkably Bright Creatures, which just came out yesterday and is a Netflix movie.
Huh. So that could
And
go one way or the other.
yeah, well, I've kind of been talking about this movie or that movie had a real streaming type feature feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't have that at all to me. Uh, but so this is like I said, brand new movie. A bit of an odd story as far as just the way that it's told. But I, spoiler alert, thought this entire thing was brilliant and the movie was great. I'll read you the synopsis on IMDb here. Through unlikely bonds formed during night shifts at a local aquarium, Tova, an elderly widow, learns a life-changing discovery that may bring her joy and wonder once again. The other character being Lewis Pullman, working with her over the night shift, cleaning the aquarium. Where if you don't know anything about this movie, the remarkably bright creature is an octopus.
Of course it is.
Yeah. And so, what's kind of interesting in this whole story, it's a very human story, but our narrator is Alfred Molina as a giant Pacific octopus that lives in the aquarium and observes all the people. And let me just tell you what, man, one of the things I said right off the bat, this very much coincides with news this week. Sir David Attenborough just hit the triple digit club. He is
Yeah.
100 years old now. You hate to say it, but he is 100. He's probably not going to be around forever
He's only got
doing the
another 60 or
narration.
70 years.
Yeah, doing the narration for all our favorite nature stuff. But Alfred Molina, I mean, if he needs a career for the way to spend his upcoming golden years, the mantle's right there for him to take. I mean, I challenge anyone to watch this and not be like, oh, yeah, he's going to be perfect to do the next Planet Earth once Attenborough's gone. He was amazingly good in this. And of course, Alfred Molina, if you don't know, God, what are the major things? Doc Octopus in Spider Man 2, the original Spider Man 2. He was in Maverick. He's been in a million and one
I would say
things too.
he's been everywhere.
Um,
Big City Greens.
Yeah, he is in Big City Greens. That's right. Oh, we're coming full circle. And my favorite dude, as Wyatt knows, is in this. Colm Meaney,
Yep.
the one guy that can't do nothing wrong. He's the sole member of Get Him to the Greeks cast that hasn't been revealed to be a complete piece of shit human thus far. uh, but he's great in this. He plays basically like an expat that is settled in the Pacific Northwest after a long tour with like following the Grateful Dead around the country, and basically just kind of stopped in this little podunk town in the Pacific Northwest outside of Portland, and living the life as a small town hippie shopkeeper kind of thing. And he's wonderful in this. Every human in this is great. Definitely one that just kind of explores relationships and things like that. Lewis Pullman's kind of a lost soul trying to reconnect with some family roots that he's not sure of. Sally Field, who is obviously the main character in this, is dealing with the recent loss of her husband and the alluded to tragic loss of a child at some point in her life. We're not totally sure when this occurred, but may have been somewhere in the late 90s. And we're joining them in present day. So a lot going on, but if you want just a nice movie, something that you might expect to get a little teary-eyed with towards the end, great watch. I mean, just a great watch. Kudos to Netflix. I don't know if they produced this or what the backstory is, but wholly enjoyed. And I think you'd find a lot to have fun with too.
I just have to say
Mhm,
that I completely spaced that you said you were talking about Paul Meany and you were
mhm.
talking about, his backstory. So I thought you were still talking about Alfred Molina, who you said was an octopus. And I
Oh.
was really confused why the octopus was on tour
Traveling with
with,
the Grateful Dead?
yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see how this plays
Well,
out.
I'll tell you what, Wyatt, you just have to watch to find
Yeah.
out. No, there's,
Like, did he get
yeah.
transformed into an octopus? Like, is there more behind this movie that
No,
I
I'm
don't
I'm talking
understand?
about, The Next Generation and, many of my favorite movies, Colm Meaney, who is different from the
Yep.
octopus in the movie.
Yeah, I picked it up about halfway through you
Yeah.
talking when my brain finally turned back on,
But
and I
I
went,
think,
"Oh, yeah,
anybody who has Netflix will see this on their, new releases
yeah." I'm sure it's being
page.
pushed.
It is probably being pushed, but, just a really nice movie, and I'm really glad to see this kind of subgenre that has kind of come out in more recent years of focusing maybe on older people's stories.
Like Thelma.
Um, like I was gonna say, you had me watch Thelma, and, that was, like, a great movie that was still funny and not just for, an older audience or a more innocent audience. They don't really tone it down or anything. It's just good, as this was. So I'd be interested to hear your opinions. I don't know if maybe you'll watch it on the plane next week or something. But for anybody out there that was on the fence about it, yeah, Remarkably Bright Creatures, uh, like good 8 out of 10 movie. I was very happy with it. Pleasant surprise, and Sally Field, she's wonderful.
Not have guessed that Sally Field is 80 years old. Wow,
I
good
was
for
gonna.
her.
Well, she was just in the movie 80 for Brady, right? I
Oh,
can't say
yeah,
I
good
caught
point.
that one, but
Yeah,
she
we'll
has
review
to be.
that.
I ain't watching that. I don't care how much I love Lily Tomlin and Sally Field. And I ain't watching a movie that honors Tom Brady.
Ah, all right, fine.
But you went to see a movie and a play. It looks like, if I'm reading the show notes correctly.
Yeah, maybe if we have some time, we'll talk about the play. I went to see To Kill a local rendition of To Kill a Mockingbird last weekend, which was good.
Talk about lessons that
But
people could use a reminder in.
yeah, which is actually why they decided they wanted to put that play on because it was a very apt time, maybe in our society, that people might need to hear what happens again. But on a different note, I mean, it's definitely a happier note depending on how you view the documentary, the way it played out. But yeah, I went to, surprising nobody, went to Boston yesterday to go catch the release of, oh gosh, my brain's failing me, the NoFX documentary, which I believe is called 40 Years of Fucking Up, which,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, Wyatt's getting us the explicit ban this
Nah,
week.
you
I
already
like
you
it.
already did about 5 minutes ago. I made a
Oh, did
note.
I? Ah,
But also, I was just saying the title of the movie. So,
oh, you can't be
but
held accountable.
exactly, you gotta blame Fat Mike. Um, but yeah, so I went to catch the showing at the Alamo Draft Theater down in Boston of the NoFX documentary. But before we went and stopped and got some food at a local restaurant in North Andover. I believe it's called Jamie's Restaurant, which was good. They had almost seems like kind of a ripoff maybe of the Bob's Burgers Burger of the Day, but they do a
Oh, cool.
Burger of the Month, and their Burger of the Month was called The Spice is Right. Which,
I like
you
it.
know me, I hate puns, and I really hate when people use wordplay. Um,
I'd
but
need to be a partner with you if we ever opened a business like that, because I think I could come up with the burgers, but the puns, yeah, there's just too many puns.
it was so it was actually really good. It was an American Wagyu patty, which I don't really. It was great and it tasted great, but I don't know. I'm pretty basic when it comes to my meats. Just give me 80/20 ground chuck, and I'll toss it on a flat top,
Well,
and
the
I'll
whole thing about Wagyu burgers is always kind of stupid to me, to be
yeah,
honest with you, because the whole point of Kobe or Wagyu is the striations of fat content going
yes.
through the meat. If you grind it, you can add
It
as much
doesn't
fat as you
matter.
want
Yeah,
to.
exactly. So obviously it was just it's a marketing like we use Wagyu for this
I have
patty.
no doubt that it could be a
Yeah.
higher quality of meat. Yes.
Oh, it was great. It was
Yeah.
the burger was great. It was a melt in your mouth kind of burger. It was, but it's not something I need. But so it came with obviously the American Wagyu. I think it had lettuce and tomato. Then it had a ghost pepper cheese, habanero pepper jam. It had like a spicy seasoned bacon, spicy fried pickles. Then they did sriracha aioli on a homemade bun.
So hot
And
on hot. I'm into it.
yeah, it was really good. Like it was hot, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to absolutely
Not like,
die.
yeah, sign a waiver bullshit just
Yeah,
there to
no, no.
mess with you
It
hot.
was,
Actually, it
yes.
sounds like everything had a specific flavor and that went well together.
Yeah, and it was great. I was very happy with it. My buddy Greg, who I went down to the show with, he also got the burger too, and we both agreed like it was really good.
Now, is this like a
So
thicker pub burger type
it
style, or are we
was,
talking
yeah.
smash?
No, so as you know, we've said many a time on the show, we always want our burgers to be wider, not taller, but sometimes we can't win those battles and we have to take what we're given. But so yeah, it was the dumb,
Oh,
here
it
comes
came
your
with a
burger and
serrated
there's
steak
a
knife.
yeah, yep, it sure did.
Steak knife
Stabbed right
stabbed
through
in
the
the
top of
top.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. You can picture the burger. But aside from that, no, and it wasn't like gargantuanly tall, so I could easily take a bite out of
Oh,
it.
I
So I
got
had
no
no.
problem with a good pub burger.
Oh yeah, no,
Let's
no,
get that straight. We're not saying it should be smash. It's
no.
just you gotta, yeah.
I need to be able to fit my mouth around it.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead and clip that, I guess. But so yeah, we did that, and sadly, the showing was at 10, and we all know that I'm getting pretty old, so that's pretty late for me to be getting down to Boston. Turns out that after they sold out the 10 p.m. show because it was sold out, they opened up a 7 p.m. show as well, and we didn't know that. So it would have been
Arf.
nice to have been able to there for 7, and then I could have been home probably around 11 instead of 2 a.m. But hey, sometimes you gotta live a little.
Now, you said
But this
big surprise to no one you were in Boston seeing this. Is it not a surprise that you would be in Boston, or that you're such a huge NoFX fan that you would be out to see the documentary on its opening?
Mostly that I'm always going to shows, as you like to say. I'm going to see things. I'm always going out, so it's kind of playing into that. It's not too much of a surprise that Wyatt spent a Friday night going to see a show.
Oh, well, yeah, you live in a exciting child-free existence that I'm very jealous of.
Oh God, it's so awesome. Can I just spend a minute to say how awesome it is to not have
What do
kids?
you mean you can go to things that you want to do?
You know how cool it was that I could just be like, "Hey, I'm going to California for 5 days, and I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about finding a babysitter, or I don't have to worry about being
Well,
I
I'm
just don't
also going on that trip, so I got a little bit of a life left in me. Come on.
You do. You got. I can see the little bit of flicker in your eyes now and then, but
All right, but no effects, Doc.
yeah,
Tell me about it.
yeah. So we're gonna take a quick tangent here,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna transition into my chump of the week.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so you might think that I'm talking about a movie theater. My chump of the week is gonna be some a hole that's sitting next to me that's talking through the whole movie. But no, no, no. This week's chump of the week is going to be Mr. Frank Alamo, I believe is the name of the CEO of Alamo
Draft
Draft
House.
House. Probably not, but he's gonna be. His name's Frank Alamo now,
I think it
and
was a mom and a pop originally, but they're
yes,
long since out of it.
yeah, and now it's a nationwide
It's been
scourge on the
enshittified.
earth.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like I said, the showing started at 10. So, as good people, we showed up at 9:45 to, get ready, maybe get ourselves. If you don't know what Alamo Draft House is, it's the kind of movie theater where they have, the nice comfy seats and you have almost like a high school style desk in front of you that
Hmm.
you can order food and have, either actual food or popcorn, milkshakes, drinks just brought to you, order from your phone and they come and bring it to you. It's a decent setup. I enjoyed that. So we figured up a little bit early so we can order whatever we wanted to get. Because of course I got myself a milkshake because I'm not going to get a
Yeah, I mean,
milkshake
they
if
do
someone
cocktails
offers
and
one.
stuff and full dinners and the whole thing, really.
So we show up, and first off, we can't find which theater it's in because there's nothing that says it's this theater. We wander around. Some guy was like, "Oh, if you already have tickets, you can just walk through." So we walked through. Nobody scanned our tickets, so we're now realizing that we could have just not bought anything and shown up.
Yep.
But it is whatever. So we're wandering around. I think there's 10 different theaters inside the draft house, but they're in like different branches. Like this is theaters 4 through 10. This is 1 through 4. This is this through that. So we're just wandering around. We asked several people are like, I don't know. So finally, we find it's the last one that we see, which just says private showing on it. Doesn't say what it is. So at first we're like, well, I hope this is it. Yeah, otherwise, like we're just gonna go sit down. So we get in, and the movie's already playing, and I'm like, huh. I know that there was a showing at 7 or 7:30, so like maybe we just walked in at the end of the documentary
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna, go back to the beginning. So like, all right, this is really weird. So we sit down and there's a guy sitting next to us, and I was just like, hey, or I think Greg was, he was sitting next to the guy. He's like, hey, did this just start? Or he's like, yeah, it started like 10 minutes ago. We're like, we looked at our watches, we're like, all right. So we missed the first 5-10 minutes of the documentary because they
Yeah.
just arbitrarily decided that this movie's gonna like 9:40. So, it's stupid, but if something starts at a certain time, I would imagine you would start it at that time.
I mean, this sounds like you're, I mean, as I am, I don't know, it's a product of the restaurant industry, 15 minutes early is on time, and that's how
Yeah.
you operate your life, right?
Yeah. So, let's, like I said, let's get there early. Let's
Yeah.
get our food ordered so we don't have to have somebody walking through the theater, as the movie's playing. We can
Yeah.
just enjoy it. But that didn't work out. So at some point, I'm going to have to find the first, 10 minutes of the documentary, which the way it was going, like, it genuinely seemed, and I'm not going to get too much into what happened in the documentary because I think it was really good and people should see it, even if you're like an adjacent, not even of NoFX, but if you know about them and you know how they've been around for 40 years and just seeing
Well, I told you,
how the band
yeah, I,
came
I used to
together.
watch their Backstage Passport docu
Yeah.
series where they toured in all the places that they were not supposed to go,
Yep.
and that was like 2005, 2006. It's not my music, but they're very entertaining. Fat Mike is an entertaining person.
He really is, and that documentary definitely shows it. But to quickly get back to it, so yeah, Frank Alamo's my chump of the week. Yeah, if you're gonna be playing something at a certain time, play it at the certain time, man.
Well, so did you ever get an explanation? There was like
No,
they
nope,
just decided to start it 20
yep,
minutes early?
yep.
All right.
There was no reasoning. I had asked someone after the movie when we walked out. They're like, "Oh, we don't know." I'm like,
All
"Okay."
right. Well, what Alamo Draft House or whoever owns you now,
And you are my chump of the week.
chumps.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to the documentary itself, it was really enjoyable, and seeing the beginnings of the band and how terrible they were, and how they were friends with some really good punk bands, um, and they would play with them, and they're like, "You guys suck," and not like in the Primus sucks sense where you say that like, "Oh, you're all like." They were like everyone was like they are terrible. Fat Mike cannot sing. His voice is terrible. Like, and just yeah, seeing how they were able to turn it into a 40-year career. And the whole idea behind the documentary was Fat Mike was done with the band. He didn't want to do it anymore, but he also wanted to set up the bands for the rest of their lives just to be able to retire. So he's like, we're going to do one more tour. And the way they did Fat Mike is a weird person, but
He ain't dumb.
so smart.
Yeah.
When it came to running NoFX, the business side of it, like that guy did work. So he decided, basically going back to the conversation we had a couple weeks ago about how Ticketmaster, Live Nation suck. He had said, we can't go to any of these places because Ticketmaster takes a cut of your merch, takes a cut of your drinks, takes a cut of the
Mm-hmm.
parking, takes this, that, this, that. So, we are going to be stuck with maybe getting 25% of what we should make. So he said, I want to set up a tour, and we are just going to do lots. We're going to do fields. We are just going to create our own places. We are going to run it, and we are going to pocket the parking. We are going to pocket the drinks. Like, so he set up this entire year and a half tour for NoFX, which you could see there was definitely a lot of strife within the band because it wasn't so much that Fat Mike talked to the band and was like, "Hey, I think we should be done." It was Fat Mike decided we're done.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this tour, and you guys are gonna make a lot of money, and I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. It's been 40 years. I'm not having fun. So, as you can see, the rest of the guys, El Jefe, Smelly, and Melvin are just like, okay, well, I guess we're along
Done then?
the ride. We can't really say no. And apparently there's a lot of strife between Melvin and Fat Mike, which came up a lot, which was very surprising because they had been best friends. They are the two that started NoFX in the beginning. And essentially
Hefe's been there for a long time now,
he's
too.
the newest, yeah. He's the
Yeah.
newest member, but yeah, he's been there since like 93, I think.
Yeah, that was like Motorhead at the end. It's like
Yeah.
newest member of the
Yeah.
band. He'd been there for 22 years.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
So I guess there was Fat Mike has a lot of drug problems. Like he loves cocaine, he loves drugs, he loves drinking, and
He's
the
never made
band-
any bones about it either. He's been
No.
like, yeah, I might probably die pretty soon, but I enjoy what I'm doing, and that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, he didn't do any drugs until he was 31. He was the only person in the band for the first 15 years or so that he would drink, but he didn't smoke pot, he didn't do coke, he didn't do anything else. And like the rest of the band had their demons, got through their demons, so they're like, we know what you're like, you need to stop. And I guess it was Melvin's wife tried getting the rest of the band on board to throw Fat Mike out of the band and bring Tom DeLonge in as the lead singer of NoFX. Yeah. And Fat Mike found out about that, so he basically told Melvin, like, as soon as this tour's over, I'm never talking to you again. Like, I'm done with you. So it was really funny in my head because I don't know about you, but I'm not great at playing nice really with people I don't like. I try to, and I try to be cordial, and but I just always have that underlying like, you're garbage. I don't like you. For usually I have a very good reason. I don't write people off for nothing.
Yeah.
But once you've done something to make me not want to be around you anymore, like
You've
can't hide
made the list.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And of course they have 40 plus years of friendship to fall back on, but seeing them interact with each other during the shows, talking to each other, all this stuff, it's like, I couldn't do that. And then at the end of the documentary, they kind of go into, this is what's going on. So, Fat Mike said he was done after they did a 3-day concert in San Pedro, and Smelly, El Jefe, and Fat Mike still record music together, and they basically all they did is they kicked Melvin out of the band.
Yeah, fine. And I'm good with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and apparently Melvin now it was so like he came off terrible in the documentary. He's doing like EDM music and like one-on-one life coaching and Reiki, and I'm like, wow.
That sounds on point. Yeah.
It really does. But it was really interesting. It kind of jumps back and forth. It looks at how their 2024 tour was going, and then it goes back to like, this is how NoFX started. This is what happened. We had a really big chance where the record label that they were a part of was getting acquired by Warner Brothers, and they were like, oh, this is gonna blow band up, but they had a song that I can't remember the name of it right now. Very vulgar, and the lyrics were very vulgar, unsurprisingly. And Warner Brothers was like, "Hey, you need to take this song off your album, and you guys are good. We'll bring you on. You're gonna make a lot of money." And Fat Mike, basically without consulting the rest of the band, was like, "Yeah, nope, we're not. You're not censoring me. This is what we're doing." And the head of the label that they were with believed in his artist so much that he shut down the merger and was like, nope, if he doesn't want to do it, we're not doing it. And I'm like, wow, yeah, to have that much like that guy lost out on so much money, maybe because as you see at the end, each person in the band took home $2.5 from touring for a year and a half, just because of the way that Mike set up, the way that they handled everything. It's like
everybody got $2.5 million. That's pretty good.
Yeah, every member of the band
for that band,
$2.5 million.
They wouldn't come close to that if they did even just like a Ticketmaster club tour. They wouldn't even come close.
Nope. They said, I believe, and you'll have to watch the documentary to verify it because my memory might be a little fuzzy, but I believe they said like under normal touring circumstances, like if you did the Ticketmaster route or whatever, it would have taken them 18 years of touring to make what they did in that year and a half.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, everything is set up to just for everyone to
get
wet
their piece of the pie.
Yeah, wet their beaks that aren't the artists kind of thing. And when they've just vertically consolidated everything other than the band playing on the stage is owned by Live Nation and Ticketmaster, then yeah, how else are they going to do it? I'm not a big punk guy. As time goes on, I've gotten more into it. And I just NOFX's music has never been my thing, but I respect.
I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, I respect the living shit out of them though, because they walk the walk.
Yeah,
They walk it like they talk it, and Fat Mike especially. He kind of embodies that punk attitude of, he's going to raise that middle finger as soon as you tell him something other than what he likes. Like, I respect that. The man has principles. They are principled. I don't respect Hefe or excuse me, I don't respect Melvin's trying to bring in Tom DeLonge. I mean, I can't possibly imagine a band that's less punk and shittier than Blink-182. And I'm sorry to everybody out there who's Wyatt's age and that hit at the right time for them. But yeah, Blink-182 are absolute and total garbage and embody nothing about punk music, whereas NOFX have spent 40 years walking the walk, and I respect the living shit out of them. Even
the funny
if it's
thing
not
is,
my thing.
they're actually friends with Blink-182.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stand Tom DeLonge, the person. I think the
yeah.
other guy seems perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
Travis
but Tom
Barker
DeLonge,
and Mark
Tom
Hoppus.
DeLonge is right there next to Billy Corgan, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Sniffs
Mark
his own
Hoppus,
farts, and it seems like a huge douche.
Mark Hoppus was interviewed. The amount of people that they got to interview for that documentary was wild. Like, seeing how far the reach of NOFX was and Force, and how just everyone loved them for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Once they were good. But yeah, it was Mark Hoppus was talking about, yeah, we would hang out with Fat Mike and stuff, and he was always so nice and everything, and this and blah blah blah. And then the next thing you know, he has a song that comes out that says "fuck Blink-182 fans."
Do they really?
And he's like, and it's just
that.
great. Yeah. There was a song, probably like early 2000s or something. It was I believe it was called "Fun Things to Fuck," and the line, I believe, goes "fuck fans of Blink-182," and then I think he says that's illegal if you're born in '83, because I believe the song came out in, oh god, I can't remember, early 2000s. But it was just funny that they.
I was born in
that,
'83,
but,
and they should be
go.
illegal because of their suckness. Yeah, you want to talk about people that can't sing? Jesus Christ! Time, yeah. Oh god, nails on a chalkboard. Shut up.
Well, you see, sadly, that voice I think would have worked in NOFX. Like, Fat Mike's voice sucks.
Fat Mike's voice is authentic and actually real and not completely contrived.
I don't disagree with you, and I'm not a huge fan of Blink-182 myself, but I could see why they chose that whiny voice or I shouldn't say they, Melvin and his wife. Supposedly, they went into it a little bit, and they didn't really dig into it, and even I don't know. You have to see it. But Eric Melvin did not come across as very good in that documentary.
I'll watch the hell out of this. Like, this is right in my wheelhouse. And like we've said, good doc should be able to be about anything, regardless of if it's a band you enjoy or not. And
I hope they include the intermission animation that they had at the theater, because that was.
Oh yeah, so fantastic. I saw a picture of this last night, but you can elaborate, because I was amused. I was like, that's very on brand.
Yeah, so first off, we didn't know if there was actually an intermission or if it was just a scene that was happening in the movie. And so it's like, oh yeah, we're going to give you 7 minutes, and a clock comes up, and then there's just these stick drawing figures, a man and a woman, who are sitting in the theater, and the guy's like, hey, I got a bucket of popcorn. You want to, yeah, kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And she's like, no. And then they go into the bathroom, and then a whole bunch of debauchery happens in the bathroom, between snorting coke off of a toilet seat, writing balls on a wall, smoking joints, doing other adult activities in the stall. And this just went on for 7 minutes during the intermission. And then it just cuts right back to the documentary.
I love that there was an intermission. How long was this?
It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay, so normal movie length.
Yeah, it was the intermission happened with like half an hour left in the movie. It's like, which is fine. Maybe it was like, we want to give people an hour and a half and then whatever. But
as someone that every movie he goes to needs to miss a couple minutes of any movie to go pee, I appreciate it being there.
Exactly. And a lot of people took advantage of that. The credits were probably 10-15 minutes long itself. Like they had pretty much a paragraph of almost every person that has ever been involved with NoFX, saying things about them, what they've done, how they, what they're doing, how they've been, and then it was even talking about people that helped out with the documentary. Will Wheaton was randomly in it. They interviewed him for something, and he's just like basically like, "I love NoFX," and then they just moved on to someone else. And I still don't really understand why he was in it, but good for him.
Because he's a recognizable face that
Yeah.
happens to love NoFX, and
Yeah.
they have a clip of him saying it, so why not use it, right?
Yeah, the weird, or not weirdest, but the hardest part was they told Fat Mike basically like, you need to stop doing drugs. Us three are going to quit the band if you don't stop. Like, we're willing to throw this all away because we care about you so much that we don't want you to die. And Fat Mike was like, ha ha ha, okay. Do you mind if I make a drink while you guys are telling me this? Like, they were trying to have an intervention with him. And then he was like, okay, I'll go to rehab. And instead of rehab, he is really good friends, I believe, with the lead singer of Avenged Sevenfold. And he was like, hey, I'm trying to go on a vacation. Can I just come stay at your house for like 2 or 3 weeks? And the guy was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so he went out to this guy's house, and Mike stopped drinking and stopped doing drugs for like a day, I think. And he woke up the next day. He was like, I'm not hungry, which is really weird because I'm always hungry when I wake up in the morning. And then the next thing I know is I just projectile vomit blood, and I just yell help. And his wife at the time was doing yoga like right outside the room, so thankfully she heard him, because he was literally puking and shitting blood. And then they showed video of the room, and it looked like a murder scene. Like it, and he told his wife that he's like, I want you to record me. He's like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die, and I want you to record me now so I can, say my goodbyes or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you're in late stage alcoholism and your organs start to go, you read about it's happened on planes and stuff too.
Yep. So he got recorded. He said his little thing, and he called his daughter basically to say like, hey, I'm dying. I just want to let you know I love you. And
this is all occurring in Matt Sanders' house, or excuse me, M Shadows.
Yes, M Shadows. Yes, this is all happening in his house. So you're getting like the fourth between seeing what's actually happening in the video and talking to Fat Mike about it, and then getting the interview from M Shadows and him being like, yeah, so this all happened. And then I called like 10 cleaning companies and nobody would clean it up. And eventually I found someone to clean it up.
Oh, you need the crime scene companies.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And he's like, I ended up sending Fat Mike a bill for $1,100 for cleaning, and he just paid it. He's like, and that was he's like, I had to have 4 different cleaning companies come in to clean this. He's like, but I figured it was fair to just have him clean one of them, but have him pay for one of them. But I was like, damn. Like,
yeah, that's fucked.
it was brutal. Like,
I mean, he's never made any bones about his total self-destructive behavior, but for the most part, and you can correct me as the doc, I'm sure, went into it, he doesn't have like a history of DUIs or arrests relating to use. He's all about self-destruction.
He just loves his cocaine and drinking. He towards the beginning he was talking about like, oh, this is my he was snorting rails off of The Art of War. And he
like the book by Sun Tzu was sitting in his house. Yeah.
And you could just see rails, and he's just doing rails. And he had said something like, oh, because someone was like, oh, are you going to clean that up? Or are you worried about, like your house cleaner or whatever? He's like, no, she knows that she cleans everything. She doesn't clean up the cocaine. And then they cut to like her, it might have been an earlier time, but it cut to a video of either him or the documentary crew, like asking like, oh, what do you do with cocaine? She's like, I do not touch the cocaine. I do not clean up the cocaine. And it's just like, but it was a great documentary. Even like if you're not a fan of NoFX, just I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or if I've always enjoyed it, but just documentaries are awesome. And like I said, I know we've talked about it many times that if the documentary is well done, it can be about anything. But
well, it's kind of like for years, I mean, a lot of years, I really only read nonfiction stuff. And it's not because I don't like novels or anything. It's just because, well, here's a thing that I like. and I want to know everything that's going on behind the scenes
Yeah.
in that thing. That's what I enjoy. That's what I find so interesting. That's why I enjoy stuff like Dark Side of the Ring. You know, even though I'm not a wrestling fan, it's because I find the stories behind everything fascinating. And the relationships and just like all the interpersonal stuff that goes on that you know doesn't get played up in PR. That you know that's interesting.
All right, that was a much longer intro than I was expecting us to have, but you know, sometimes that happens when we talk about Fat Mike and you know, NOFX. But let's get into the meat of the episode, and this doesn't need to be a necessarily hugely long topic, but we are going to be in California in a few days.
Going to Lodi next week.
We are. We're going to be hanging out with our buddies Joe and Sam and John and Ian, and I'm sure there's others there that I'm forgetting about, but it's going to be fun. We've got apparently Ian's friend usually gets a few campsites right at the festival.
Yeah, it's on the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, there's like a winery fairgrounds or something. It's I mean, we're in wine country, so but
I know we have a huge spot on grass that'll have lawn chairs and cold beverages and
pinball machines. Which is
so,
wild. I can't wait to play outdoor pinball.
I'm looking forward to outdoor pinball at night. I want to see if they still have the fire machine with the flamethrower hooked up to the top. So if you ring the bell, the flames go off. That has to be awesome.
Was this the festival that had that? I know Ian. I heard Ian talk about it. Was it here at Golden State?
Yeah. So I think they've had it a couple of years in a row now. And so for anybody that doesn't know, this is an older pinball machine called just Fire ! And it's like an old timey fire engine theme. Including the actual ringable bell that they would have on the back of old fire engines. And if you do certain things right in the game, you can hit a bonus that rings the bell. They rigged it so anytime you trigger that, it shoots like an 8-foot shot of flame up into the air outdoors on these fairgrounds. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing stuff like that.
I will say I'm very happy that I was talking about this with you the other day because I am terrible at knowing itineraries apparently because I thought you were also coming in on Thursday and you and I are staying in a room together, and if I wouldn't have realized until Thursday that you weren't coming until Friday, I might not have had a place to sleep. So I'm really glad.
That's not true. I just said we have a patch of grass. It would have worked out fine.
Man, I'm too old for patches of grass.
Yeah, no shit.
But no, yeah, that was kind of funny where I'm like, all right, because John and I are going to the Athletics and Cardinals game on Thursday. And you were like, oh man, I wish I was flying in Thursday. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I thought you were. I knew you.
Yeah, I don't get there until like noon the next day.
Yeah, I thought you were showing up at noon on Thursday because I was like, oh man. And I'm really glad that John and I are going to the game because I was like, oh, I'm landing a couple hours earlier than Nick, so I'll just wait for Nick to land and we'll get a rental car. And yeah, so I'd be waiting there for 26 hours.
Oh, what? So you thought I was just going to like drop you off to meet up with him and you guys are going to the baseball game and then I'd just be out over at the event that's not happening
this was before the baseball game thing was a thing. I thought I was flying Thursday either way because like I want to make the most of my time.
I just thought that was the whole reason you guys were going. You were going in early because you guys were going to the ball game.
I was going on Thursday because I think I originally thought that your ticket was for Thursday, so I thought I was getting a ticket the same day. And, you know, hijinks happen, and here we are less than a week out, and I realize, I'm not good at telling dates. But thankfully I ended up...
partner.
Thankfully I got a room right at the hotel that we're staying at for a night, and I think it cost me like $71. So I'm not.
Oh, good. Yeah,
I'm not too put out by it. So thankfully,
I'm not expecting the finest place in the world, but 4 walls and a bed is all I need for an event like that, and maybe a big pot of coffee to roll out with in the morning, and I'm set.
And we get the nice continental breakfast.
Oh, word up! And yeah, if it has a shower facility, all the better.
Because I mean, not to say that a lot of people that play pinball are stinky, but a lot of people who play pinball are stinky.
Yep.
So I would
There are
prefer if I
there's a
become
guy-
stinky to take a shower.
Nobody just decided out of their goodness of their hearts or the back of their mind, hey, this convention we're running, we better start putting up reminders for people to bathe and wear deodorant because that's just a thing that we should have to do in society. No, it's because you motherfuckers stink.
Ugh.
Just have basic hygiene. That's it.
Yeah, it's always kind of a crapshoot when I go to a pinball tournament, whether
I mean, I'd say
or not.
nature is nature, man, and I'm not beyond sweating in a tight, cramped space that might be hot. You know that happens in some of these things, and
absolutely.
that's the way it goes. But if I'm outdoors at the fairgrounds and I can pick you up walking by, I'm gonna call that the line.
If I can see the trail of stink
If
flowing
there's a
from
haze
you to
coming
where I
off
am,
of you, yeah.
maybe I should pack a bunch of travel-sized deodorants and just start tossing them out.
You just no. That's why you don't have to be a jerk about it. You could just
Oh, no.
put a basket at your campsite and be like free to anyone that might have forgotten deodorant.
Or you can just hand it to the people that smell.
They
need
if
to
you want to be
know.
less subtle, there's that. Yes. Yeah. Somebody at your
But,
home
yeah.
ain't telling you, I'm going to be the guy. We're never going to be friends. You'll probably never see me again. I'm going to be the guy to let you know. You got to do something about it, pal.
Exactly. See, that's the play. I'm never going to see this person again.
Yeah.
I might have just saved them years of.
Feel free to
smelling
take all the offense and think that I am an asshole. I am just
Everyone
trying to
else
be a
will thank me.
messenger. This is just the way that the rest of the world is going to be able to thank me.
But as much as I'm looking forward to the pinball, I think it's going to be really cool just being able to hang out with all you guys instead of,
Virtually?
usually we hang out at Really Rad Weekend and everyone's running around with their heads cut off because they have things to do. And
yeah, I think it's going to be cool to have a weekend of come whatever may. Not a lot of scheduling going on, is there?
And rumor has it we may be getting some garbage plates. Have you ever had a garbage plate?
I have not. Well, I've had all the components. Obviously,
everyone's had the components.
Yeah,
but
no, I have never had a good Buffalo garbage plate. From the second I first saw it on Triple D years ago, I'm like, I want that thing. This is years before I was friendly with John or anything. So I was like, I saw it on Triple D. I was like, I need that. That is me. And so I am fully on board to do a full garbage plate. I'm excited, very excited about it, actually.
Yeah, that's probably my second favorite part of going out there is we are not going to want for food for the entire weekend.
No, I can't imagine that that's going to be an issue for 1 second. And yeah, it's a campsite, so there will be cooking along with food trucks at the event.
Yep.
But hopefully, I'm looking forward to the stuff our group makes itself. And since we're flying in and some of the other guys are driving, they're going to have the ability to bring all the accoutrements, as it were, for any fun dishes, but hopefully we can lend a hand at least.
Sadly, my contribution was I saw that Arizona, the makers of Arizona iced tea and various drinks, came out with like a new birthday pack celebrating their birthday or whatever. So they had like 12 different drinks, some that haven't been released and some old favorites.
There was fun stuff in there. It was like a carbonated lime Ricky I saw, and they had the egg cream in a can.
Chocolate egg cream.
Mm-hmm.
They had a new lemonade one that's not coming out yet. There's a bunch of them, and I'm like, oh, this would be really cool, because we're in the age of everything needs to be. Hey, we got a bunch of people that make content together. Why don't we try this stuff? And it's looking now like I had it shipped out to John because he's driving up. And,
not going to make it.
It looks like it's not going to show up until next Saturday.
Well, you said it's shipped out of New York or something. It was like,
yeah,
shit,
New Jersey.
Amazon, you got the biggest logistics network on the planet. You can't have a couple of cases down in Southern California right now that you could just ship closer to the final delivery address, but
apparently not. But so, we'll see. Maybe it shows up, but otherwise I told John, I'm like, if it doesn't show up, then, enjoy
the iced tea.
Whatever. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I thought it would be a fun thing for us to try out, but who cares? Like, but it could happen.
It happens.
Yeah. So if you haven't bought your festival tickets to go to the Golden State Pinball over in Lodi, California, buy some tickets, come hang out with us.
If you're in the San Francisco area,
or get plane tickets outside. And come out.
Oh yeah, we'll see you in
Come
Oakland.
visit.
Yeah,
it's going to be our first. We don't have it yet. Festival. So, Nick,
Mm-hmm.
do you like Star Fox?
Not really.
Does your kid like Star Fox?
Yeah, he does. No, I'm kidding. I like the SNES game, but I've never really experienced it outside of that. As a property, yeah, I like Star Fox.
All right. Well, Nintendo surprise dropped a new Star Fox game. Well, I shouldn't say surprise dropped. They
No, it isn't.
surprise dropped an announcement on. You just say no, it isn't a new game.
Yeah, I did say that.
Nicholas,
Get at me, man.
every Star Fox game is a retelling of the original Star Fox game.
Oh, is that true? I don't know.
Pretty much. The only one that's, I mean, Star Fox 64 is essentially a retelling of Star Fox. Star Fox 2 is what Star Fox 64 was. Star Fox 2 got canceled because Nintendo didn't want to put it out for SNES because PlayStation had already come out and they're like, we need a better game for the N64.
Super FX chip was no longer impressive.
Yes. Star Fox Zero on Wii U isn't really a remake of the original Star Fox, but it's more of a retelling of the story. And this, so it goes along the Star Fox retelling of the Star Fox story, which my idea, I think everyone thinks at this point that this is just like when Nintendo brought out the Link's Awakening remake on Switch. It's testing. They're putting this out. They're going to see how many copies they sell of this. And knowing Nintendo, it probably won't matter. And it's going to sell well anyway. And we're going to have a new Star Fox game probably in the next year or so. Just like with the Link's Awakening, and then they came out with Echoes of Wisdom, which was built off the same engine. Yeah. So I think this is just testing a new engine for Switch 2. Why not? Like, we'll remake this property. We'll put it out. People will buy it because we're Nintendo. We'll make some money.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, that's exactly why they shouldn't be doing it. And I think you have a very favorable attitude towards the whole thing, and you're to be commended.
I do, because it's not just a straight retelling. There is an online multiplayer mode, which didn't happen before. You get 4-on-4 dogfighting, which I absolutely love dogfighting. Let me say that with planes, not actual dogs. I do not condone dogfighting. Dogfighting as an aerial...
Up in the sky, not Michael Vick,
yeah. Yes, exactly. Because I don't need that getting clipped with me saying that I enjoy dogfighting. But I think there is enough to this that I'm fine with it. I mean, I understand, yes, Nintendo is notorious for releasing stuff on every single system and making you pay for it over and over again. If this was just Star Fox 64 shined up, like they did when they re-released... Essentially, they released the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which was
well, that was using emulation. That was really
exactly
BS. Yeah,
exactly. I'm just saying, like, it's not that they're not doing that. This has actually been built from the ground up. I was fine with the Link's Awakening release on Switch because while it's the same game, it's a totally different. Like, it's been redone from the ground up, and I'm excited for it just because I love Star Fox, and I actually been playing Star Fox 64 probably once a week for the last couple months just because it's a fun arcade space shooter.
It's a rail shooter. I mean, the first game was not a whole lot more than a tech demo in a lot of ways.
That's all it was. Yeah, it was a Mode 7 tech demo, essentially.
Yeah, or the FX chip tech
demo. Super FX.
But, you know, it had some Nintendo charm with Wada Wing Jabbits and things like that. Yeah, so like I said, do a barrel roll. I like the franchise. I'm just, at what point are we going to say, Nintendo, you gotta stop taking the piss? Like, I think I was listening to Alana Pierce on an Aftermath interview, and, you know, she said they got me, but, like, how long can they keep doing this in good faith that I'm just going to keep buying the same stuff over and over and over again? But not that. Is the well not running a bit dry, it would seem? Because there's certainly a dearth of releases here on their brand new console that's now been out for a year, and what do we got? Nothing that makes me want to buy it yet.
I mean, have you seen Splatoon and Raiders? That looks pretty fun.
Yeah, I just don't... I mean, I'm fine with this. I don't take offense to it. I don't care if they want to remake Star Fox 64 for fans of that game. God bless. And I think the character designs, by the way, are are great. I love the
I
new
love the
characters
character
that are.
designs. I didn't realize that they were so controversial. I've seen so many people say that they're terrible.
No, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, they look like the old puppets from the Japanese
Exactly.
promo thing. And I was like, yeah, that's great. And that's very, kind of Nintendo getting it and what makes things fun. But I guess there's a whole generation of people that never got familiar with those puppets and just think it looks really creepy and stupid. I think it's fun. I think given enough time, they'll embrace it.
Oh, probably. It's Nintendo.
Yeah,
I mean, the game's going to be good. It's Star Fox. And I mean, I don't know if you got a chance to actually watch the trailer or whatever, but even the gameplay footage, like, it looks really smooth.
Oh,
like,
I mean, it's everything's running.
It's
as
not
good as it
2
frames
frames per second like Star
No,
Fox
yeah,
on
I mean, it's just
SNES.
the thing watching the gameplay footage that makes me think is like diminishing returns is where we're at. It's like this.
Yeah, this is the end.
That is absolutely as good as I will ever need a Star Fox title to look. Right here. I mean, how much further are we going to need to go? That's. They're talking about PS6 and the next Xbox and all this stuff.
Yeah,
we don't need more graphical fidelity. If it's running at 1080 60, I'm happy. But you're doing this 4K output to the TV and you're running a game that looks like that at 60 frames a second, I'm good.
Hell yeah.
Slippy looks very slippery and shiny. We're covered.
Yeah, I guess that was a topic that we could have brought up this week. We don't really need to. Sony announced that they're talking about the PS6 coming out possibly in the next year or two.
As we're coming up on the September price increases for a system that's 6 years old, like, good God, stop. This is not business as usual anymore. And maybe we need a bit of a reset with everything, that we're not chasing some ghost of graphical awesomeness that doesn't need to be chased anymore. Like, maybe good enough is good enough for a little while. We've been saying that for a while. Maybe it took Ranpocalypse to prove it to everybody that a computer from 2020 is still perfectly capable of running modern games.
I guess the other thing that I forgot to mention is that Nintendo announced their own price increases starting in September.
Oh, all three. Yeah, Xbox, PS6, PS5, and Switch 2, all going up post-release.
I think PS5 and Xbox has already gone up, haven't they?
No, Sony's actually, like, that's the one kudos, if they do deserve any as a company. They're saying it's coming in September. So everybody, if you want it, buy it. Too. Yeah, it's coming.
September 1st, Nintendo's going up. Nintendo Switch 2 is going up $50, which, call me old-fashioned, but we used to live in a society, Nick. We used to live in a proper functioning society where when we got towards the end of a console cycle, we got consoles cheaper.
Well, yeah, and you got a slim model or whatever too.
Right.
It was not only it was a hardware revision that was more attractive, smaller, sleeker, and cheaper. Yes.
And now everything has gone up, which only makes me somewhat happy that I bought all of these things at launch. Is that I didn't have to deal with the price increase. But that's
I mean, if there's a silver lining to it, I guess it's I've had these systems already. I don't really know who's pining for one now. But I guess I still have never really felt like we've gotten much of this generation. I still feel like we're in a weird frozen COVID place where it's like, yeah, and we'll get to the point where we can really show you what these can do. I haven't felt that way.
Yeah, Switch 2 is the only one that I felt like really, if you've seen some of like the actual Switch 2 games playing at the fidelity that they're at, like...
Oh, there's been a couple times where my son's playing something... Yeah, there's like I'll see him playing a game that was on Switch 1 and it's got the boosts for Switch 2 kind of thing that he paid the $10 for or whatever. And I'll walk by and go, "Damn, yeah, that looks fantastic." Yeah, does a Zelda game ever need to look better than that? Probably not. We've reached a point where you're hitting realism capabilities, and that's eroding art styles.
I don't know. Let's just end it. We're good.
Yeah.
Like, computers are gonna be computers. Like, computers are gonna be increasing. Although at this point now we're not gonna have RAM or memory anymore. Maybe But
as a good side note, I mean, everything is just a computer at this point.
Yeah.
PS5 has now been opened up for fully running Linux now. I say opened up by the user, but my PS5 collects dust, so yeah, what the hell? I'm gonna try and install a Linux distro on it. That'd be fun. Run
Do
it
you
as a
remember
damn
when,
PC. It already is anyway. It's just full of
remember
AMD
when-
stuff.
PS3 was marketed as being fully Linux compatible?
Was it really? Well, I mean,
Oh,
God,
yeah,
the
when it
original
first came
Xbox,
out.
the original Xbox ran on Windows CE,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
no,
why you could hack the shit out of it. Or was that Dreamcast? That was Dreamcast.
No, that was Dreamcast because it said
Yeah.
right on the Dreamcast like Windows CE.
The
right
Xbox
on
was
it.
a different Windows fork something, but
Yeah, no, the PS3 was marketed as being able to run Linux, and then they took it away, and I think Sony got sued over it because it was marketed as having
Advertised
that ability, and then
functionality.
it was taken it away. Yeah.
Can you imagine such a thing today? Advertised functionality that they then later strip out and charge a premium for? A
Nope.
lawsuit coming out of that? No.
All right, let's quickly talk about our least favorite, or one of our least favorite CEOs of one of our least favorite companies. Ryan Cohen, the man of the hour, who is launching his bid to basically forcefully take eBay.
A forceful takeover of a company that's 4 times the size of the one he's running. Gotta love it.
It might happen.
Hubris.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been banned from eBay for life.
Good.
That's basically what I said. So Ryan Cohen he opened up his own like eBay store essentially, which anyone can do. But he was selling GameStop memorabilia he was selling like a mouse pad for $1,500. He was selling a pair of his used socks for $15,000. He was just putting a bunch of stuff up to prove that, people love GameStop. And apparently eBay didn't take too kindly to it. And they were like, you know what?
This is a clear violation of our terms and service for users.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You're done. And so yeah, he can't. Nobody can buy his used socks now. Apparently. So I really hope this doesn't happen.
It's not. I have a hard time believing it will, but it could. And the thing that pisses me off, I mean, it's show you it's just all just a grift of fuckery. It's just so ridiculous. He says that he's going to transform eBay into being the epicenter and sole seller of all the AI enterprise hardware that moves through data centers. So it's amusing that he's trying to do this while saying that there is going to be a flood of enterprise hardware when all these data centers connected to the AI projects fail, and they will be poised perfectly to be the main sellers of it. How is that going to work for you, sir? If you're spending... all right, I'm not going to get into a whole thing here. Yeah, Ryan Cohen it says right here, Ryan Cohen is still a fucking loser banned from eBay. Correct.
One last thing about the article, which apparently I can only open the article once because now it's telling me I need to pay to read it. But I believe eBay has about 11,000 employees. And he essentially said, yeah, if we get eBay, I'm basically firing everybody. There's no reason why eBay can't just be run out of my house. eBay looks exactly like it did in 1995. There should not be this many employees. I will just get rid of all of them. How did that work out for another, billionaire that said they were going to fire everybody?
Yeah. I don't know who you're referring to, but...
Oh, probably the guy that made us have to go find a new social media website.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that guy sucks.
Guy that decided to buy a social media website and then fire everybody.
I don't know. Yeah. Facebook's constantly firing people left and right.
Well, Facebook sucks. Nobody. I mean, it all sucks. Blue Sky sucks. Social media is a dirge on society, and we should all just go back to writing letters to each other.
Hey, the Fediverse is a solution.
It is if we can actually get it.
Yeah. Onward.
All right, Nick, you gotta go pee.
Sure. Why not?
All right.
I'll see everybody in a second.
We'll be right back.
I'm Ernie McCracken. When I found out little Billy here was growing up without a daddy, I had to do something.
When Big Ern saw our picture in the paper, he called the Unified Fund and got involved.
I had to. Couldn't help myself. But little Billy's not the only one. There's also little Jason here. Once again this year, I'll be sponsoring a fatherless family in every city I bowl with.
Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, Mr. McCracken's already there.
Jonathan, we're going to fly pattern all the way to the goal line. Tennessee. Kentucky. Down the beach! Deeper, Jonathan! It's a tough world. These kids nearly got Munson, but they're back now. Through the Unified Fund, I found out that if you give a little, you can get back a whole lot more.
And we are back. Nick, how was it?
Wonderful. I grabbed a beer too.
Hell yeah.
Saturdays.
That's getting us ready for a good segment, probably involving beer. Backlog Buster Brothers, let's get into it.
Alrighty.
Nick, always great on the drops. He was right there ready for it.
I had my finger on the button.
All right, let's start with you, Nick, because I'm really curious. I did not get a chance to play this game, even though I said I was going to try to this week. I assigned you Starstruck: The Hands of Time, and
Yes.
Just to remind everyone, this month we've decided that our theme is going to be music. So music, movies, documentaries, what have you.
I think music is possibly going to be combined with pinball, given our...
There's music in pinball.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find a way to work it in. But yeah, so my game was Starstruck: The Hands of Time. This is sort of a rhythm game.
Yeah.
So there are basically 3 parts to this game. And I had played a little tiny bit of it before this week, and then it ended up in my backlog. So perfect game for this segment. Basically, there's kind of... You control yourself. You play as in the first person as the player, and you have a PC system like talking to you about the goings-ons of the... You're in a spaceship, about the goings-on in this world below you, where you're tracking 2 characters who love music. One is an established rock star who is breaking away from her family's traditional classical musical moldings, and the little boy that's with her, I don't know how old they're supposed to be, idolizes her and wants to grow up to be a rock star. So very confusing when you're talking about first person in a spaceship. But basically there are 3 modes to this game. There's what I'll call God mode, where you are your giant player hand interacting with the environments of this small world. Feel free to correct me at any time. The second part is just normal RPG mode, we'll call it, where you're playing as either of the 2 protagonists and just kind of wandering around this world, town, very kind of Animal Crossing looking kind of experience, interacting with characters and the environment. And then the third way is you're playing guitar. And obviously the whole story and a lot of the interactions that you do and playing concerts and stuff all go through playing music. And it actually has a totally original soundtrack with full recordings and vocals and all that good stuff. And it's a very different feel in the musical parts because you're kind of providing all of the sound versus just that guitar line that you know from that song is if you were playing Clone Hero, whereas this is your kind of you're the background, and sometimes it's just you strumming an acoustic guitar, as it were, in the game. And you can play it either by controller or using a guitar controller, which we talked about last week, and I said I was going to do, but I haven't done because I just played it on
That's the
Steam
one
Deck.
thing I wanted to hear about.
I know. So I still have that, and I will check back in and talk about that. But yeah, I have every intention of continuing and finishing this game. I only got, I don't know, maybe 90 minutes. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's fine. That's enough to know about it.
Yeah. And fully into... Well, you know what's funny is Vampire Crawlers is taking over my life, and that's one thing that we'll have to talk about later. But I've still been chipping away at and finishing Cult of the Lamb this week.
Yep.
So I want everybody out there to know that when I say I'm going to finish these games, I very much am speaking the truth, that at least with my intentions, I do mean to finish them. So yeah, I actually got caught up with Cult of the Lamb a bit too, wanting to check that one off the list before diving totally into this. But yeah, so much fun, so much quirky, fun personality in this game. It obviously doesn't take itself too seriously, and there's a lot of fun little writing quips and things like that. You tell me if I'm forgetting anything.
I mean, I think that's a pretty
It's
good
it's worth
high
checking out.
level.
Yeah. If you like musical genre games and RPGs, cutesy fun art style, it
The
definitely
art style
reminds me
is
of.
great. In the
It's very
game.
Tearaway. I know I fumbled that last week. It's very Tearaway. Yeah, kind of a paper mache look to stuff
Yep.
or a construction paper. It's beautiful game. Again, yeah, art style over graphical power, horsepower. I think is that's
Need
the
more of that.
future. That's the future. But yeah, I'm going to keep cracking away at it, and I hope to have more updates about the weirdness of this game. But it's quirky, it's fun, and well, thanks for the birthday present, buddy.
Yeah, I'm glad you got a chance to try it out. I couldn't remember if I had bought that or not. I
You
thought I
did,
saw
and
it
then
on
a
your
year
wish
later, I
list.
still hadn't played it, so you had to assign it to me.
Hey, that's why we started this podcast, so we
That's
could
right.
start playing these things that we really wanted and then never get around to.
Precisely. And you watched a movie about one of my favorite general subjects in the whole wide world, GWAR.
Yes, I did, and I admittedly don't know a whole lot about GWAR. I mean, I know who they are. I've seen them. I've heard their music. I enjoy. Like, it's not that I don't like them. It's just it's never really been in the forefront for me.
Well,
So
neither have they.
yeah, and it was again a good documentary is a good documentary,
Mhm.
and it was interesting. Like, I had no idea that they started their career as a punk band, a really crappy punk band, just a bunch of art kids that wanted to do art and used the stage to create their art.
Mhm.
And to see how they've kind of transitioned into what they are now, and seeing all of the changes that have gone throughout the band, and the tug of war between Hunter Schafer and Dave Brockie going back and forth of who's the leader of the band. And
Well, that was it. That was the interesting part to me is that so Hunter is kind of the whole side of
I
this
said Hunter
is
Schafer, I meant Hunter Jackson. What the
I
hell's
don't
the
even know
guy's
his real
name?
name. I was picking up off you, but no, his whole thing. He was kind of like, all
Techno
right, here.
Destructo.
Yeah, he was kind of led the theater kid part of the whole thing, whereas Brocky was
Yeah.
leading the punk band part of it, and there was obviously strife between those two camps and belief in what this thing should be. And Hunter kind of believed it should be more of this like art project that's all encompassing scumdogs of the universe brand, and it's many people and artists into this thing. Whereas I think Brocky was more on the side of no, this is a fun thing that we do as a band, and we cut people in half on stage and whatnot.
Yeah, it was that was the most interesting part. 'Cause like I said, I know just about nothing about GWAR, and just learning about, and like, I did not realize that, and maybe I should have, that these are all just a bunch of D&D playing nerds.
Oh, of course, of
And
course.
they're just seeing all of these guys out of costume was hilarious. Like,
Yeah, I mean, no one takes shit like this that seriously if
no.
you're not a nerd. Come on.
Oh, I mean, I know, but when you only see their in costume personas,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's, yes, obviously you have to be a nerd to do this crap, but to see that, like, to actually see them, to see these guys in their early to late 50s,
Yeah.
guy with like a semi bowl cut and glasses talking about, it's just, it was really well done. I learned a lot about it. I feel like it was maybe a little bit too long.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if it was, I think it was, let's see, it says it's an hour 52, and even that, like, I think they could have probably cut about 20 minutes out of it, made it a 90-minute documentary.
Now that you're saying it, I think it did drag a little bit towards
yeah,
the
there's a
end of the
couple
second act.
spots. Yeah. There's a couple spots where I just found myself zoning out, and I had to rewind it because I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Well,
get
it's,
it.
I mean, if you talk about
we figured it out.
40 years, and
Yeah,
it's a large cast of characters that have
and that's the
shuffled
thing, yeah.
in and out of GWAR over the 40 years. Dave Brockie was the only thing that was standard in it for
Yep.
a large portion of that, and he's been dead for a decade now.
Yeah, and then I think the funniest thing to me, and the cosmic sense, is that like, and they mentioned it in the documentary a few times. Like these guys spent time together basically in costume. They didn't have a lot of experience like sharing their emotions with each other and like having real human interactions. So like anytime that there was some type of a dust up, even if they were talking to someone basically, like I don't think anyone's actually ever been kicked out of the band really. I mean maybe recently, but like they would have conversations and then someone would be like, oh, they kicked me out of the band, like Hunter when he decided to basically sell his own GWAR merchandise and then just pocket all the money because he needed money for his project. And they talked to him and they're like, dude, you can't do that. Like
Yeah, they were
we're
just trying to say like it waters down what we're
yeah
trying to do with the band, and his response was like, "I started this. I can sell whatever the hell
yeah
I want." Yeah.
And then he basically took it as they kicked him out of the band. And like they talked to the other guys in the band, like, yeah, we literally never said that he was kicked out. And then in the next scene, there's something like, yeah, and then they kicked me out of the band. It was just, and then like
Maturity is not always at the
no,
forefront with some of the folks. Yeah.
it's a very immature, very very smart, clearly very neurodivergent cast of characters. Which I mean, these days, whomst amongst us is not
Well, I mean, you're talking
neurodivergent.
about Fat Mike. I think Brocky's the
Oh yeah,
exact same type of character. He's
yeah,
going to do whatever he wants when he wanted to do it, including shitloads of drugs. But he's also a fiercely intelligent man,
yeah.
um, and
This
you
was
could
a
see that.
great. I'm really happy that I was able to see the NoFX documentary and this in the same week because there were
Hmm.
a lot of similarities. And yes, exactly, like Dave Brocky and Fat Mike. And I believe there was something said about both of them in their respective documentaries that like Dave Brocky set everything up. He tore everything down. He put stuff back in the vans. Like he once they were working, you would never find someone that was more serious about their and like all about it and like the hardest worker probably in the band. And they said basically the same thing about Fat Mike is like once it got to game time, like he was loading the vans, he was unloading them, he was making sure things were set up, he was doing this. And then you look at these guys off stage and you're like, holy crap, like they are really holding themselves together. Because yeah, like Dave Brocky, there was one part where they said, he took a bunch of LSD and then just disappeared for 3 days, and then just shows back up and he's like, "Hey, yeah, well, all right, let's do this."
Yeah, if
But
anyone out there ever has the chance to watch any of the old like Springer episodes or like
yep,
Sally Jesse Raphael or any of those old
the
talk
Joan
shows,
Rivers show.
yeah, where they all had GWAR on because it was shocking, and he's hilarious though. I mean, when I worked at the bar 20 years ago, we used to put on Fox News on Saturday nights to tune into Red Eye, and that sounds like crazy to say now, like yeah, but like because Dave Brocky was on as Odorous Orungus
Yep,
on Red Eye all the time, and he was so quick that whatever they were talking about, he would just be, viciously making fun of them, and they were a lot of the times they didn't even pick up
yep.
on it, and so it was wholly entertaining. Is because he would do that type of shit, in the full GWAR character, as a satellite news correspondent, basically.
Yeah, there was one part where there was a few guys in the band that did say like it was rough going on shows with Brocky because Brocky took over.
Hmm.
He and there was someone that was saying like they would have their own bit they'd talk about or something, and then Brocky would just steal it on stage and use it.
I could totally see that. He was
Yeah,
the type of guy that just absolutely yearned for
he was the
that
spotlight.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, no, there was a lot of death in GWAR. There was I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I watched it a couple times and I still didn't really figure out what was happening. But when God, what was his name? Pete, maybe one of the guys got shot,
Hmm.
got shot, and I'm still like, what the hell happened here? Like, were they filming something? Like, I guess I really wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I mean it's weird that it's still going.
Yeah,
Because you got whoever the original guitarist guy is now the lead singer as Blothazar or
yep,
something like that. I mean, I shouldn't say that I'm a huge GWAR fan because I'm not. I've never owned a GWAR CD, record, anything. But I have been to more than a few GWAR shows because that's what it's all about to me. It's an experience, and it's like going to a theater production. I'll listen to Bring Back the Bomb on occasion, but as a metal band, it's kind of punk metal.
It's a show.
Yeah, you're there for the experience, and that never disappoints. You just don't want to wear any clothing that you ever plan on wearing again.
Yeah, that was really interesting getting to learn a lot more about that. And it was awesome. Like, I always wondered why they were always on Beavis and Butthead, which it's very clear that obviously, and they said, like, Mike Judge loved them. So he's like, you guys want to be on